Hello internets and fellow geeks and nerds. This is Big Fat Video Game Nerd coming at you with a recap and review. It's going to have a few spoilers. This is of The Big Bang Theory Season 6 premiere, which just aired a little bit ago on CBS. I love Big Bang Theory. I've been a fan from the very get-go. I've never missed an episode, and I'm a huge fan of all the cast of characters, Chuck Lorre, and his writing, and just his humor in general. So I was really pumped about the season coming back, to be honest, I'll give you a quick kind of review of what I thought. Just straight out of the gate, I was a little disappointed actually. I found the episode to be very awkward and full of a lot of one-liners that I really could not connect with. I guess my chief complaint is that the cast is becoming less and less believable. They're becoming kind of cartoony, almost not really realistic, and there's just lots of situations that I'm finding pretty ridiculous, and not kind of like really connecting with or enjoying. And I'll give you a few examples right off the bat. The episode kind of starts off with Penny helping Amy bleach her upper lip, full of lots of really awkward lines and discussions between these two characters. She's getting ready for her second anniversary date with Sheldon. And I love the little community name and that everyone's kind of come up with because of Penny, Shammy, their couple there. Raj has some really good liners. I love the name that he comes up with for his buddy Howard, who's in space, Zeusowitz, a combination, between a Greek and Jewish god. It's got a nice ring to it. Sheldon is clearly very jealous. He never misses an opportunity to brag on Howard, make fun of him, and insult his intelligence, and then turns right around and the next scene is making fun of Leonard and how unintelligent he is as well compared to himself and his colleague Raj. So I often kind of ask myself, I wonder, why are these guys still friends with the way that Sheldon behaves? But I guess if they've been friends for that long, you kind of get used to it and forgive and forget, stuff like that. So the drama that occurs between Howard and his mother and his new wife Bernadette in space is very weird. They even make his mother out to be very dumb. She kind of seems sheltered in previous episodes, but they even use an old high school your mama joke. Your mom's so dumb she thinks she can catch a computer virus from her computer, or a virus from her computer. So that was weird. I don't know why they included such a childish joke, and I really just didn't find that very funny, because I really don't know anybody that is that dumb. It is always just kind of a high school your mama joke. So Leonard shaves his stomach and writes "Go Sports" on it to try to impress Penny, and that was kind of awkward. After all these years, I can't believe that him being so smart, he wouldn't have really kind of learned baseball and football and some of these other common interests, or these interests that, this girl that he likes so much has, I would think that he would have at least gone out to some baseball games or football games or done some research online. So I mean, really, this far along, that kind of joke that he's kind of awkward and a social misfit and not understanding of sports is kind of overplayed, I guess. Is what I would say. And I did find it interesting that Raj spent the entire episode drunk, going from the date with Sheldon and Amy to crashing the date between Penny and Leonard on out to the comic book store, where he proceeds to ask the comic book guy out on a date, a bro date. And the last awkward part of the show was the comic book guy actually agreeing to go on this date and comforting himself, justifying the acceptance of this date by saying, I could do worse. So I can't even really fathom or imagine how lonely these two characters must feel. So, but with all that said and done, the awkwardness, it's what it is, and I am glad that the show is back. The one thing I really didn't get from the episode, so I'm hoping someone can explain it to me, was Sheldon had on this really weird shirt with a really weird design on it, and I didn't understand that at all, so hopefully someone can explain it to me. And my favorite part of the show was Amy is about to break up with Sheldon, and he ends up comforting her or appeasing her. You know, she's like, "You better say something very sweet and romantic." So he actually quotes some lines from Spider-Man, and then says, you know, she's like, "Oh, that was so sweet," and I got a little choked up. But then he's like, "Yeah, those were lines from Spider-Man," and you know, she's like, "Well, I guess, you know, like what else should I expect, right?" So obviously the drama between Penny and Leonard continues to go unresolved week on and week out. So that's kind of the main reason to keep watching. And I really did enjoy the zero-G gravity scenes with Howard in space and him playing with the pen and watching his character float around, and the one-liners that the Russians pipe in with, like, "I can't believe these guys won the Cold War." So that was pretty enjoyable. So I hope you guys get a chance to check it out. If you haven't already watched it, it's definitely worth watching. And I'll be doing these weekly episodes, recaps and reviews. I'd give it a fairly decent score, probably like a B, maybe a B minus out of 100%. So it wasn't like, you know, it's not going to win an Emmy or Oscar or anything for performances, but it was enjoyable. Definitely made me chuckle and laugh out loud a few times. So it's definitely worth watching, and I hope you guys will tune in next week where I do the next episode recap. Big Fat Video Game Nerd signing off. Thanks.